Hi, I'm going to tell you a story. It's about how well dogs adapt through repetition. Enjoy the true story time. Our story begins in the heart of the bustling city, nestled amongst rows of towering structures, stood a modest apartment building that had recently, since a week, welcomed two new residents, me and my loyal friend, the Rottweiler Nato. Our home was a cozy nest on the fifth floor, a place we could reach by a ritual that began with a press of a button at the entrance, signaling the ever watchful security guard to grant us a passage. One crisp morning, with the sun casting a golden hue over the awakening city, I decided it was time to explore the nearby forest, a green sanctuary amidst the urban sprawl. Nato, with his keen senses and boundless curiosity, was more than eager to accompany me. As we were walking through the thick forest, the symphony of sounds and scents enveloped us. Suddenly, a squirrel's darting figure caught Nato's attention, and with a burst of energy, he gave chase, vanishing into the foliage. I called out, my voice echoing through the trees, but Nero was gone. Hours passed, and with a worried heart, I returned to the apartment alone. I took out my keys and I started to open the apartment door. Now, trust me when I say I searched. And I know from earlier experience that police don't help people search for their dogs. That's a story for another time. Nato was about 2 years old at the time and wasn't finished with his training. At that age, it's risky to have unfinished training left for a dog and then have it unleashed. Even in the forest, an untrained dog should be leashed. I now know better than that. So, stay tuned for the ending for more analysis. Anyway, let's proceed with our story. Then the unexpected happened. The security guard called my phone. Dan, your dog, he's here, on his way up. Confusion and relief washed over me, and I rushed to the elevators. There, emerging from the sliding doors, was Nato, safe, sound, and wagging his tail with an air of accomplishment. My emotions were a roller coaster of joy and exasperation. How had Nato managed this accomplishment? I needed answers. The security guard was equally astonished, asking me to come and witness the extraordinary events captured on the security footage. The camera showed Nato arriving at the entrance mere minutes after I had been let in. The dog sat patiently, then, with a surprising understanding of the situation, stood on his hind legs and pressed the buzzer. The guard, recognizing the clever canine, allowed him in. Nato's journey didn't end there. He approached the elevators with purpose, and finding no open doors, he leaped and pressed the call button. Once inside, he first waited patiently, but when nothing happened, he jumped to the pad and pressed the floor 3, 4, and 5 with one paw press. Nato then settled down until the elevator reached the third floor. Looking out, realizing it was the wrong floor, Nato stepped back into the elevator and rode to the next floor. On the fourth floor, he did the same. By the fifth floor, he recognized it was the right floor and went out of the elevator, where I met up with him. I watched the footage in awe. The guard, half joking, mused that Nato must be a human trapped in a dog's body. But the truth was simpler and yet profound. Nato had learned the rhythm of our daily life, the sequence of actions that led him back to me. Now, The moral of our story is clear. Repetition breeds familiarity, and familiarity becomes habit. In just a week, NATO had grasped the complexity of our urban living, a testament to the unspoken understanding between dogs and humans. This is what I always talk about when it comes to training dogs. The dogs look at your routine and adapt to that. That's why most people succeed in having an obedient dog at home, but in the outside world, the dog is unadapted. Think about that and subscribe.